Hey, welcome back to my channel From Business with Love. So today I'm going to talk about something I've just recorded. Um, so if you're new to the channel, my name is Colin Parsons. Thanks for joining me. This is basically a therapy session for myself, just to journal and get some of those thoughts and ideas that go on throughout the week. And talk to the camera, kind of talk to myself, and if it helps one person, then all the better for it. Now, the channel is really dedicated to business, how I am starting my own business, is the struggles and the highs and lows along the way. Maybe something that my kids can look at back, if they're ever starting their own business. And just really to kind of celebrate, those wins along the way and recognize things that are changing and moving that, when you work for yourself, you might not actually see. So I wanted to talk about today about a recording I've just done. So there's a guy, Adam Faulkner, showed up in my LinkedIn feed, and I saw him a couple of times in terms of feed, and he wrote some stuff, and then he basically put out a few videos, and I quite liked it. It had a comic factor in it, and I enjoyed it very much. Then he did this video post about starting a studio, and he said, people say that they don't have the equipment to be interviewed, and it costs a lot of money. And he said, well, I've got the interview, I've got the equipment, why don't you come and join me? Now at first, so he said, just send me a link and then we'll make it happen. At first I thought it was a free service and it was something in London, but due to my unemployment rules, I'm actually unable to go to the UK. But it was actually a paid service. I didn't realise at the time. Would have been more costly in person, so we actually ended up doing it over video. And he uses an application called Riverside. So if you're interested in podcast, video recording, etc., have a look at that. That's an application that he uses. And I was a bit hesitant. The money aside, I wanted to do it. I feel that I enjoy being on camera. Now, that seems an odd vanity statement to say, vanity thing to say. But the reality is, I do like it. I like being on camera. It allows me to express myself, to talk, and to be authentic. And I know authenticity is one of those things that can be overused and overvalued oftentimes. But something that for me is about talking and being in front of a camera, and I like it. I don't necessarily care what I look like. Obviously, I try and put some effort into it, but I don't need to make sure that everything is perfect. But we just recorded it, and you might think it would be a scary moment to be interviewed, so it lasted for 40 minutes, but an hour overall. There's an intro and an exit, and the whole purpose is really to ask questions and explore certain topics for my own benefit, for something maybe I can clip and put onto social media. And why he sent me some questions. We had an introduction meeting, but the reality is the process went really well, and I really enjoyed it. He asked, well, what did I think? And I loved it. A way to actually talk and express about excuse me, ideas, concepts that are in your mind, and be able to bring that out in a three-dimensional way, rather than sitting, behind a post that you put on LinkedIn. And I really enjoyed it, and I wasn't stressed about it. And it's strange because a lot of things in my life I've been stressed about when I've had to hold meetings, etc. And I worried very much of how I would come across, and I focused on the wrong things. But the way he did it was really enjoyable. It was about understanding, he gave me some warm-up questions and some of the things that we'd already discussed. So I kind of knew the landscape of what we would be talking about. But, I expanded on those ideas. I didn't overthink them. I had some rough idea where I wanted to go with those, but I was always able to tie it back. And it's amazing because as a child, I spent most of my time concerned. I'd recorded myself on, a tape recorder. For anyone who's my generation knows what a tape recorder was. And I'd play it back, and I sounded like a squeaky mouse. And it's something that haunted me for many years. Even when I started working, you had to put your voicemail on, and I recorded my own voice. I didn't like saying my own name, and when I listened to other people's, I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. So I started to worry about how my name sounded and how I was talking. So this thing that has haunted me for a long time is actually the thing I really like doing. So um, it's very strange, but I believe there's a lot of wisdom in there for something maybe in the future. Maybe that's the idea. Maybe I am more on camera or interviewing people or podcasts or something. I get a lot of pleasure out of it. For sure, it takes energy, but I really like using that medium um, to share and communicate with people. So it's strange. I guess the purpose of that is, what's something in your life maybe that you thought you were bad at? Maybe someone's told you, earlier in your childhood, and you've just avoided doing it. I've spoken to a lot of people that say they're not creative, but when I've actually worked with them, they're creative all over the place. In the work that they do, in the way that they show up, and it surprises me because I say, "Well, you're really creative," and they go, "No, no, I was told I wasn't creative." But that eventually leaks out. I think when you're naturally gifted at something, it will come out. Even if you're trying to suppress it, it will come out in so many different ways. So yeah, it's a good reflection. The thing that you think you're bad at is probably that you're actually really good at. It's just you had a bad experience when you were younger. So challenge yourself. See what brings you alive and what you enjoy. So I'm interested to see what the results of this interview are going to be, and yeah, that's okay. But I have to be honest, the experience of doing it was a great thing. Interacting with someone, talking, feeling free to open and explore some of the ideas and concepts that were in my mind, it felt great. It really did. So I'm excited about it. Obviously, there was a cost involved, but you can always make more money, right? Well, hopefully that's the whole point of being in business. But yeah, so yeah, it's really about that, and it was a good moment, and we'll look back and reflect openly on that. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I hope you're all well. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.